Hey friends, Alex here, helping you discover your infinite potential in this human experience and this fantastic opportunity we have right now as humans to discover what's going on, to find this essence, this quintessential essence of what is happening right here, right now, stepping into our power, stepping into this infinite potential that we have. And the infinite potential is discovering that we are infinite. We are infinite beings in this human experience at this minute in time, just a specific reflection of light that's being expressed and experienced in the infinite potentiality of life. Just let that sink in just for a moment. And just feel into that. How does that feel in your body? It may come up with a little bit of tension, it may come up with a bit of anxiety, it may come up with a little bit of excitement, it may come up with a little bit of joy, it may come up with a multitude, a kaleidoscope of different feelings and sensations. Today I wanted to touch on one of the things that we have to overcome on our journey of discovering our infinite potential. And that is the deep emotional impression that our past has had onto us up to this point. We are in this this self-revealing phase of the journey where we start to have these glimmers of light, and these glimmers of light come with different points of perspective and different points of perception, different moments of feeling, all engaging with our nervous system in this very radical now moment. Our past is so fundamentally very strong. And when I talk about the past, I'm not just talking about us as individuals, even though that's extremely potent and powerful. I'm also touching on our collective past that is also imprinted massively into the subconscious of us as humans. And when we navigate through this, we are navigating through a multitude of different stories that are all impressioned from our past. And the journey is the letting go of old, outdated stories and creating new ones. When we come to step into our creative power, this essentially means we start to create a new story. And to create that new story, we need to be to reverse engineer it, we need to actually become more conscious of the unconscious old story that we've been telling ourselves. Ooh. Just breathe that in for a second. For me, what a journey. What a journey of revelation, discovery, realization. It's edgy, it's gnarly, it's like, wow, it's just full of contrast, like so full of contrast. But one thing I've learned is that contrast is fantastic. It is so beautiful that we come in here, because we come in as humans. We don't come in here for us all to get along. That's not what being on earth is all about. It's not for us to all get along. It's for us to find our center, that we can actually be grounded and find our eye of the storm, that we can be amongst all the contrast, be amongst all of it, but still be just bombastic and resilient to what's happening. And that resilience comes with the real deep know thyself. And know thyself, I would say, is how I would translate that is a really deep understanding of our inward mechanisms. And a big chunk of that is understanding how much of our past is playing out in the present. Whew. And the very powerful nucleus of emotion that would be that foundation would be the emotion of fear. And that you can see how that's been playing out for thousands of years, and how fear gets weaponized. It's found within ourselves, and then it gets weaponized you can see how the world is structured and how it's all going about. So it's for you, the beautiful humans that feel that are in this point, or at this point, of questioning the external world. you're questioning what's going on in the external world, and something's not quite landing within the whole process. You're starting to think, not only are you experiencing disharmony with your own life, but you're also seeing it reflected in the external world. Now, reality is subjective. What do I mean by that? Reality is subjective because everything's stimulated inwardly. Our nervous system, and we can bring in the nervous system as well, and this is why I work with people's nervous systems intimately, is that there's a sensation or a condition happening within us, which all comes down to a vibrational quality and capacity, which is cultivated by our tuning station, which is our nervous system. Our nervous system is like the receiver of the vibration. And we have all of this going on, which then stimulates everything within our consciousness. And our past, and fear is such a strong emotion. It's such a strong, heavy, primordial emotion that it imprints a very strong, energetic footprints into our nervous system. And it's from those energetic footprints that then start to stimulate everything that we experience. And it's almost like, it's like a data bank. It's like this memory bank of emotion that gets stored up within our nervous system, and then congruently with our body, within the human vehicle that we're in, this physical vessel that we're in right now. It starts to get channeled up within that. And when we don't process unprocessed emotion or unprocessed fear, we could use that as, we'll still continue to use that as an example. It begins to be stored within our energetic body and congruently and attached with our physical vessel as well. And it's from this unprocessed emotion that we start to we build up these stories. All of this, what I'm talking about now, is the culmination and the banking and building up of stories that are attached to these energetic responses that are happening within us. And it's from these energetic responses that we start to have everything within our consciousness right now. And we have our conscious mind and our unconscious mind. And it's within the power of like the unconscious, or we could label it the subconscious as well. The subconscious we want to feel into is the power center of who we are as humans. But the subconscious is undirected power. And with these subconscious energetic patterns and imprints that we have within us, we're not just dealing with our individual from what we've gathered in our lifetime, but we also have the collective consciousness and energy of the collective going on as well. And when we go from this gradient line of being more, from becoming less unconscious to more conscious, we start to feel and realize this more and more. And it's just this building up of these inner stories within us. And it's from these inner stories that then play out within our lives. So when we go through any really high emotional events within our life, whether that's our trauma or these deep moments within our life, they come with like heavier layered degrees of heaviness within us, which then impress the subconscious mind with these like automatic behaviors, which then play out. And it's from the subconscious that then it literally creates and is the power behind creating the energy pattern and reality that we experience within our life. So we can start to feel into all that we experience that is really inharmonious, to whatever degree that may be. We all can relate to that. We've all had these different moments where we know we experience in harmony, whether that's in our energy or within our physicality, whether that's within relationships, whether that's within our job, whether that's within whatever expression it may be in the human experience. We know that. And it all comes down to what's being impressed. So when we become more conscious of our unconscious patterning, and we can use fantastic tools like breath work to come in and really energetically help realign and shift these inner stories. This is what I do. I help facilitate people through this process. we come away from the old stories. We can resolve the inner stories. We can energetically and physiologically let go of these old stories due to what's going on within us. And we come more into the words of, this is not, I don't want this anymore, to knowing what I do want. So we drift from, oh God, why is this happening to me? From disempowerment to empowerment. And it's a beautiful line that we're crossing, and it's a gradual process. Letting go of the past is one of the most courageous things that you will do, because you have to dive in and face all the aspects of yourself. And it takes discipline, it takes due diligence. But if you're called to material like this, you'll to a very powerful degree be ready to take on this challenge. And you'll get to a stage where you'll actually be quite excited by it. There are stages when it could be quite confronting, and it can be like, how is this ever going to change? But then we go into this place where we come more into this realization of how much power and influence we do have. And it comes on to this, that we can at a very really powerful degree completely let go of the past. We're going to that stage where we just completely let go of it, even though the shadows will rise up every now and again to be brought out and to be forgiven and to be evaporated with compassion. We become more into that, our higher self and our higher aspect of ourself, and that higher aspect is our true heart desire of what future what we can determine what future we're being pulled into, that's so quintessentially aligned with our highest vibrational capacity within this life and human experience. So it's fantastic. It's a fantastic opportunity right now, right here for you. So however you feel about the past right now, wherever you may be within your process, just know that nothing is set in stone. Everything is fluid. Everything is flexible. Nothing when it comes to our past is permanent. It's not permanent. It's transcendental. It's transitory. It's completely malleable and it can be transitioned through perfectly into our, what we would say, our truth of what we are as humans, which is permanent, which is love, joy, harmony, peace, and all those specific higher vibration qualities. So have fun, my friends. Have fun. Watch this video again. Maybe save it, come back to it, and I'll see you in the next video.